think we might have to call it.
Yeah.
I'm just rebooting it now to see if it helps. Well, it just came on and said that I was streaming, and then it went off again.
Yeah.
Now it says that I'm streaming again.
Not for me, it doesn't. Oh, actually, it says you're streaming, but it says you're offline.
Yeah, I've just come on again now. People have probably given up. Anyway, I wouldn't blame them.
Yeah, it's very odd. We've not had this sort of trouble before, have we? It's not this bad.
No, no, but I have had some internet problem. Oh, people are here though. I think they're still here. You still here, guys? Says there are 5, so that's 3 people.
Let me reboot because I'm not seeing.
Hmm.
For me, it says there's nobody here.
Playable version of DKRX. Well, yes, there is a playable version. Not the game, just a demo of some of the code. But it was playable, and I did make it available to my Patreon supporters. And hopefully I will, well, no, I will bring a version of it to the Crash event that we're doing next month so that people can have a little go. I really wanted to do something else for people to play, you know, like,
Yeah.
I wanted to do, and look, I might do if I have time, we'll see, but I'd like to do,
Are we going to have a TV there?
yeah.
Cool.
But you said you're going to bring a monitor as one monitor for the next as well, right?
I can bring a monitor, yeah.
Yeah, and if we
Yeah.
both bring a laptop, then we can
Yeah.
also, people can do that as well, I suppose. It's not real
Yeah.
hardware, but then you get, you know,
Yeah.
substitute. Yeah, what I'd like to do is mess about and see if I can modify Jetpack RX to be 2 players.
Oh, nice.
You know, one on the joystick and one on the keyboard, because there aren't that many games, you know, couch co-op or 2
Yeah.
player, right? So I was thinking if I could make a couple of games, convert a couple of games to be 2 player, then could be a bit of fun,
Yeah.
couldn't it, really? I mean, I've got a couple of other ideas. But I'll be honest with you, I mean, I'm coming to England, I haven't been for 3.5 years, and, you know, I'm not going there to just sit and code, you know, that's for sure.
No.
I'll spend some
Yeah.
time with the folks and, you know,
Yeah.
do stuff.
Yeah.
But in the evenings, I might be able to do a few hours. We'll see how we go. But that's why I want to try and get a lot of the stuff we're doing finished. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. There's still no collision or joystick, I'm afraid. Honestly, I haven't worked on it for a while. We're trying to get these 5 games that we've done released and ready and finished for this event. Yeah, so if any of you guys are coming to that, let me know, because we're going to make those games available and you can pre-order them. And we're going to be signing in there and everything, so.
Yes, we are.
So yeah, I don't really know what to do with this game as far as what to do next.
Are you playing the adventure game?
Yeah.
I thought you were.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Oh, that's the other thing of Zoom. I don't have a thing. You've got unlimited, have you? I haven't got an unlimited one.
Yeah, I just can't use it to post because it's a work thing.
Hello, Graham. Yeah, we've been having all kinds of technical problems. Um, can't get anything working, but it does seem to be a bit better now. Okay, so I'm gonna reset the Zoom and re-invite you. Okay, and then
Okay, okay.
we'll switch over and we'll do some coding. We'll just do some coding and then we'll.
Yeah.
All right. See you in a minute. Sorry, guys, a bit warm. Okay, we'll just get Andy back and then we'll do some coding. No review this week. No review last week, kind of. Well, we did look at that game, didn't we? But okay. Now, there will come a point where when we do these streams, we'll even ask you guys to set us a coding challenge, and then we'll try and actually write it, as long as it's fairly simple, and we can be live and make mistakes live and do all of that. But for the time being, I'm going to set those particular challenges. Okay, yeah, I'm a little bit. What can I say? I'm not 100%, not 100% myself, just because I'm concerned about the cat. As I said to those of you who
Yeah,
are
and
here, she had her shots and she's got a bit zombified now. But you know, she's just sleeping. I'm fairly confident. You know, it's like when you have a kid. I mean, obviously it's not the same level, but especially the first time that they're ill.
exactly.
You just don't know. She really doesn't like being ill. I tell you that much. You know, it's like she's so much like my wife in so many different ways. To be honest, they're very very similar. You know, she's a smart cat. You know, she loves to have fun.
Yeah.
She's you know, got a bit of a temper, and and yeah, and really doesn't like being ill. You know, I don't know about you. Well, like when I'm ill, I kind of well, I don't. I'm usually all right. I just try to go into it. I see it as a bit of a challenge. I go into a sort of battle mode. You know, I'm just like, I'm gonna beat this thing.
Yeah.
So I can sort of, yeah. I'm not the sort of person that goes, you know.
I am.
I know you are. I know you are. You've told me before.
I am a nightmare when I'm ill. as my girlfriend attests
I
to.
know you told me, yeah. And you were quite indignant that she wasn't giving you the sufficient level of attention that you require.
Sympathy.
Yeah.
She doesn't need
Come on. I
sympathy.
mean,
She'll be the
I
first
mean,
person to tell you that as
yeah,
well.
yeah. I mean, I no. I mean, I'm usually all right. No, listen. I do moan a little bit. I mean, anybody does, don't they? Right? With
Yeah.
when they're ill, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about how we can display a number in graphical form, like an energy bar, right?
Woohoo.
So I got the energy bar from Nixie 2, and I've disassembled it, right? And so hopefully
Okay.
that'll mean we can make it work in the new version, just so you know. But
That's a spoiler, Alan.
um, nobody knows what we're talking about. Anyway, hopefully it'll work in the in the slightly updated version. Yeah. Anyway, what are you doing anyway? You doing two things at once?
Me,
Yeah.
I've got my other laptop on. Hold on, let me
Hmm.
make that quiet. Sorry, not the other laptop. I've got
Ah, okay. So it's just somebody kind of
it's
messaging you or something. Huh?
it's uh, it's station.
It's what?
No, I up.
Okay, so
Oh,
we're going to
that's
talk about
pretty
energy bar,
gorgeous.
life bar, right? It's a very
Mm.
common. It's a very common thing that you get in a game, right? So it's a graphical indicator
Yeah.
of your energy, right?
Yes.
And obviously, um, if that's 8-bit, that's going to be, it could be from 0 to 255 or to 128 or 64 or 32. Those are the ones that you would want to work with, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it could be the full length of the screen, right? Which would be
Yeah.
255. That wouldn't be very common. More likely, maybe a quarter, right?
I think I set it to 80. I think it was 80 in Nixie. So
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, again, you could make it flexible. That would be 10
yeah.
bars, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty easy enough. Yeah. So let's remind ourselves. So this is SJSM. No, sorry. This is Notepad++. There is a video on my YouTube channel if you want to know how to set up like this. And we're using SJSM Plus with a script so that when we let's save it as what should we call it, life bar or something.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a horizontal life bar, right?
Yep.
I guess. I mean, a vertical one is actually, if anything, a little bit easier, right?
It's probably easier. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we set the device, select spectrum, and we'll call it life bar. Dot bin. Let me share with you. Okay. Now, what impact has that had on the stream?
What is that noise?
It's all good. I don't know.
No, it's Bubble. She's making a really weird hacking noise.
Bubbles your cat, by the way, just for everyone watching.
Yeah, she's not been well. She's been to the vets twice this week, and nothing to do with this. Today she was out in the garden. And she was, as she normally does, eating grass and throwing up. But she made this hacking noise then, and she's been doing it on and off the rest of the night now.
Alice really doesn't like the vet.
No.
But well, we borrowed a we went to the vet and we said, can we bring her in now? Because the vet is literally 5 minute walk from our house. I mean, it's just across the road, which is really good. But
Yeah.
we said, can we bring her in now for her shot? And he said, yeah, fine. It was the end of the day and he had a bit of time, so he said, yeah, fine. So
Yeah.
and I said, can we borrow a cat carrier because we haven't got one? And he said, yeah. So we brought the cat carrier.
Yeah.
We broke the door on the cat carrier,
Oh God.
messing about trying to get her in because she just was not having it at all. Basically, we were just trying to tempt her to go in, but she wouldn't. And then I tried to open the top. You can sort of open the top, but that's when I broke it. But anyway, he was all right about it. Thankfully, he didn't mind. He said, "Oh, don't worry about it." And we got her there, and then she was hiding in the back of the cat carrier. He went to try and get her out, and she just went fuck off like this, you know.
As they do.
And he went, whoa, 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 whoa. He said, you better take her out. So I went to take her out, and she also told me to F off, but a lot less aggressively,
Right.
without claws. I think with him, she was with claws, but with me, she was without claws. And so, and then she, tried to bite a little bit, but only as in I don't like that,
Yeah.
Anyway, I got her out. She had a shot and she was okay, but yeah, it's weird because she's pretty chill and pretty happy cat generally, very very bouncy and playful and everything. But interesting to see that when she's in a different environment with a stranger in an unusual situation, she's actually really pretty feisty,
It's interesting, isn't it? That they.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. The DKRX. Don't worry. I'll definitely get to it. There's no doubt. I was hoping I might have it for the event, but in the end, I knew it was going to be too much. So back burner. And the plan is that we're going to release these games this year, and then hopefully next year we'll have another three, at least another three from me and another 2 from Andy over the course of a year. I reckon we might be able to do that. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah.
Could be possible.
Yeah. I've got a couple on the go now. So.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So. Right, so let's talk about life bars, right? We're going to work on a single pixel line, right?
Yeah.
Because that's just going to because if we have a single pixel line, if you imagine like this, I better just check the stream if I've got. No, I don't have. You guys can't see. Just give me 1 second. Let me just shift that over. So is there an option to bring forward? Maybe not. Okay, so I'll just shrink that a little bit. Okay, I guess that'll do. You guys can see that over there. Okay, so what we need to do, as we already know, this is the Spectrum screen memory laid out, right? This is the top of the memory at 4000. We've got 8 bits per byte. So that is a single byte, and that's a single byte, and that's a single byte, and that's a single byte, right? Like that. Easy enough.
Yeah.
So in order to represent, well, let's go for 1 pixel per number let's say you've got a life bar and it starts at 64 and it goes down to 0, right?
Yeah.
Or 63, let's say, right? So when your player gets damaged or whatever, or it could be fuel as well, like in a car game or something. So we start it at that, and then over time you're just going to reduce it by one, by one, by one, or something like this if you get damaged, or
Yeah.
if it was fuel, it'd be on a timer, right? So there's a few things you have to consider. Obviously, if we take an example of let's say 35, right? 35 pixels. So you can see here there are 8 pixels per square, so that would be 32. That would be 33, 34, 35. So it would look like that if we were at 35. That's what we would want, right? Now, it's also worth noting that we might need to think about the full thing. So 35 from a total of 64, which would be up to that point there, right?
Yeah.
So probably when we draw this, we have to draw. It depends on exactly what happens, right? So what I'm talking about here is when things change, right? So you imagine if this thing goes, there are different ways life bars could work, right? It could go up slowly like this, or it could go down, right?
Yeah.
Now it could go up, like in the case of fuel, it probably goes down like this, down and down and down, right? And if you're doing that, then you're only ever thinking about a change that's happening over 2 different squares, right? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even, well, actually, even 1 square. If it's 1 pixel, then it would only ever. But if you refueled, for example, you might suddenly get a big boost up like that, right? So when you're thinking about how the bar itself changes, you're thinking about the update, right? So how many squares you're going to have to update at any one time. Now, if you do it fairly quickly, you could just update the whole thing, right? But you don't want to be updating that all the time on every single loop if it's not changing every single loop, right? So if you have, for example, a life bar, the player might have life like that, right? And then they'll be just running around merrily, and this is not going to change. So you don't need to update it, right? And always when you're coding on these old machines, if it doesn't need updating, then don't update it because you're wasting cycles, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Yeah, good chat. All right. So anyway, yeah, depending on what happens, what you would then do is maybe if the player gets hit, then that's when you would update the life bar because the life variable has changed. Yeah.
Yes.
So one way you could deal with that in the code is just instead of printing the life bar every cycle or every 2 or 3 cycles, instead you could have a little test that holds your current life level and every and then your previous life level, right?
Yeah, that's what I do in Nixie too.
So what then would happen is you can tell if it's changed.
Yeah.
So at the end of the cycle, you could, or at some point in the cycle, you could say, has the life bar changed? And if it has, then update it, right?
Yeah.
But again, you have to be a little bit careful of that in terms of what kind of load you might put on the processor, because potentially if you have a complicated update, for example, you know, like the chicken in Attic Attack, that's a pretty complicated life bar, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And if that was going down a lot, if it was constantly going down and there were also lots of enemies on the screen, potentially that could slow things down a bit, you know.
Yeah.
But again, in the case, I think in the case of in the case of that, you don't lose chunks of it. You actually lose 1 pixel at a time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, that's another option that you can have, right, where you've got your life bar, yeah, and then you've got you could have an instruction, or it wouldn't really be an instruction, it would just be a variable. Let's say that when the player gets hit, yeah, and say it's 5 damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you would load that address with say 5, yeah,
Yeah.
and then you would check if that value was more than 0. Yeah, and that would
Yeah.
tell the code to reduce the
Yeah.
life by 1. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you would reduce the damage down again by 1, so it would be 4, and then it would go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then
Yeah.
over 5 cycles you would
Yeah.
reduce your life, right?
Yeah.
So you would get hit once, but then the life bar might go, and it could even go slowly. It would go ooh, like that, you see,
Yeah.
rather than just going, say, like a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I mean, again, that might be aesthetically, that's probably more pleasing. It's what you see in modern games, isn't it? You get hit by
Yeah.
something, and your life bar goes ooh, like that, right? It can
Mm.
also happen quite quickly. So that's another way that you can do it, right? And then again, you're checking your damage. Well, and in fact, there's even a combination of those. But you could have a damage meter, a damage address, right, a variable, and then you put the damage as say 5, and then you could use that and say, is the damage meter above 0? Yes, it's 5, and then you say, okay, take
Yes.
5 off the damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or check if the player life is greater than the damage, because if it's less than the damage, then that means the player's dead, right?
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of different things, small little things to think of. But for now, we'll just focus on displaying a life bar like this, right? And what you can see here is you've got group chunks of 8 pixels, 8, 8, 8, right? And then you've got one last bit here at the end, which is your sort of that's like your granularity of a pick by pixel, right? It's
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
what I mean is that you can fill each of these with 255s, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quite quick. You don't have to worry too much about those, because all you can literally just copy them over as a single byte, the same value, however many times. Yeah.
Right.
So you know what you would do is, if you've got, say, if it was say 34, yeah, then no, I'm not using ZX Paintbrush. I'll go to the other screen. It's too much. Just a minute. We'll look at it in binary and we'll figure it out. Just a second.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back over here and remind me. Well, I don't need to be reminded, but I need to switch. It's so funny. I never thought I'd wish that the cat would be pestering me.
It's good. Yeah.
I wish she was sitting here now. Let me in.
That's it.
Anyway. Okay, so purely as an example, let's think about this. Let's say we've got the number 34. That's in decimal. Let me bring this back. I've just remembered. So we'll shift that over, and I seem to have 2 copies there. That's weird. How odd. It's telling me I've got low system resources as well.
That's odd. You
Yeah.
haven't got Iris or anything. That's
Well, I don't know, you know.
Why?
Perhaps I should do some diagnostics or something, yeah. It says that actions are needed on Windows security, so that's never a good sign, is it? I don't know. We just set up this thing for my wife, and with an accountant, and we needed to use this thing AnyDesk so that the accountant could use her PC. And anyway, I haven't got that running, but it's potentially a problem, isn't it? It could cause issues. Right, okay, so we're there, and we're going to look at the, we're going to bring the calculator into play.
Yep.
Right, there it is. It's not on screen, you guys can't see it, but oh, it's really struggling, this laptop is really having a hard time. But anyway, okay, there's the calculator.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at 34, okay, and we'll look at that in binary. So it's 1 0 0 0 1 0, right? So 1 0 0 0 1 0, right?
Yeah.
So you split this up. If well, let's make it 8 bits, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's actually 32 plus 2, right? And in terms of our last, so we've got like, this is how it looks. That's how it would look in our sort of life bar, right? The first four
Yes.
would be full, and then the next one would have two bits there, right? And if you look at the next,
What the hell?
what's going on?
I don't know.
Well, I'll give you a second. I'll give you a second to sort it out because I need the loo anyway. So
Yeah.
we'll be back in 1 second, guys. No panic, don't panic.
The great cracks appeared in the wall.
Everything all right?
I don't. Yeah, I heard this. I don't know. Like weird noise. And I've just seen a crack on the top of like where the wall meets the ceiling,
Mm.
and I've not noticed that before.
Mm.
But it's in the area where I heard the sound, so I'm wondering if something's just shifted a little bit.
Oh, are you in the basement?
In the garage,
Oh,
the converted garage.
I see. That sounds good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, don't need
Yes.
to, it's all right, you think, yeah, for now.
Don't know. It's not making the noise anymore.
So as you can
Carry
see
on.
here,
Yeah.
right? We've got 2 bits here,
Yeah.
and this is the number 2 here, right? So for
Yeah.
example, if you went 35, right, then that would be there, and then there would be in these 3 bits here. That's 3, right?
Yeah.
And then then you would have 3 here,
Yeah.
right? So basically, this number here. Here we go. We can do this
Mhm.
with zoom. Anyway, this number here is going to be equivalent to that one over there, right? In terms
Yes.
of how many pixels, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got to build a connection between those 2 things. Now,
Mm-hmm.
2 ways we can do it. One is we could rotate this the correct number of times with a 1 in the carry, so that you would have
Yeah.
the correct number of. Well, first of all, obviously, what you do is you're going to separate those 3 bits. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Using something like and 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to give you a number from 0 to 7, and that's going to tell you how many bits are in that last byte.
Yeah.
You know,
The last section. Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
section there, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's either going to be from 0 all the way up to 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? That's yes. I'm slightly confused. Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, because if it's full, if you have 8, then if it's full, then it would be drawn as a full one, wouldn't it? Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So it would reset to 0. So it would be like that, right? And then yeah, okay,
Yes.
okay. So that's that. So that works. So when this part is on 0, then you know that you're done, right? So that's that.
Yeah.
And then if you look here, if you look at this one's going to tell us how many of these we need to print. 1 2 3 4, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Just by dividing it by 8 or shifting it
Yes.
across, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
1 2, and then you'd shift it across like this, and it would be like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, so you're going to ignore these 2 bits here, or you can rotate it and then you can mask it off, right? You can mask off.
Yeah.
You could shift it by 3, mask that off, and then you're going to get a number here, right? And that number there is 4, and as you can see, 1 2 3 4, right? It's logical if you think about it, because you're going to divide by 8, and there are 8 pixels
Mm-hmm.
in each thing. So
Yeah.
you just literally just divide it by 8. But often visualizing it within the binary, it's actually easier.
It
to
is.
follow,
Yeah.
right?
Easier. Yeah.
See, machine code's easier than basic sometimes. So, so for example, if you'd used, say, the number 49, right?
Yeah.
So 49 in binary is going to be what? It's going to be 32. 32 plus 16 is 48. 0 0 0 1. I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's the binary. And what that tells us, if we split those up, you can see that means we're going to have 1. We're going to have 1 here, right?
Yeah.
And how many of these are we going to have? Well, we're going to have, look at this point here. Yeah. And if we shift that across, then we can see that's going to be 5, right?
Yes.
So it's going to look like that at 48. And then, in fact, we can easily we can count it, because we can just go 8, 16, 24, 32, 48, 49, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very clean and kind of pure thing, binary, when you work in it
Isn't
that
it?
way, right?
Yeah.
It's just lights on and off, and yeah, it's easy to understand. So a lot, yeah, a lot of the time when you're coding and working with binary, you just figure out how to extract the little bits that you need.
Yes.
So logically, right? Then all we need, what we need to do is we need to look at the life bar, separate the two numbers, and then print a byte of 255 for the number of
Yeah.
times, that we, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I just made that noise again.
Oh.
Don't know what it is. Sounds like something's moving,
I don't
but there's
know.
nothing in there.
Maybe it's a troll.
Moves.
Uh,
Okay.
Tyrannosaurus? No. Anyway. Yeah. So, but then on the other side,
Yeah.
other side of it, right? We also need to think about the zero, right? Because it depends how long the bar is, yeah.
Yes.
So that bar could be like that, right?
Yeah.
So you know, as long as we timed it okay, we can probably do something where we print this side of it, right? And then we do the same thing and we print the full side of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then at the end we add this one value at the end, maybe, right? Just to tidy it up. Or else we just store how many zeros we need, and we can also do that too, right? Because it's only going to be
Okay.
let's say we do it at 64. That's so that's 8 bars, isn't it? 8 bytes in total.
Yeah.
So if this one is 5, then you need 5, and then you need 1 for your mid byte, and then you need another 2 in total. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about how we code that. Because that's a fairly straightforward thing to start with. Okay, so we'll leave that up there for now, so that we can just remember what we're doing. But okay. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just create down here. We'll create something called I don't know, life value, right? You cannot put a value in life. Anyway, there you go. And that's a byte, def byte 0, right? In fact, let's call it, I don't know, we'll call it 34 since that's what we're doing, right? As a default. Okay, and now we're going to make a routine. We're going to call it show life bar, right? Let's start with, we've got just a second. I'm gonna disconnect you for a second, Andy. I'll re-invite you just a minute. Might as well do it now while I notice. Slightly annoying. Discord's probably working now as well, thinking about it, guys, but anyway, it's not a big deal, is it? Okay, Andy, be with us in just a second. Right. So yeah, we'll start off by thinking about where we want to put the life bar. And that we just need an address. So we'll I'll show you something that we can do here. Are you there? Are you back with us, Andy? Yeah?
Yeah.
So one of the things you can do in SGSM Plus is you can set a constant, right? Bar address equals 4000, right? That means that the address of your life bar where you're printing it, yeah, is going to always be 4000. It means at the start of the code, then you can change this constant, and then you can move the bar around without editing the code.
Oh, you need to share your screen again. Sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, sorry. Dope.
Mhm.
Okay, I won't make that mistake again. Probably until the next time I do. Okay. So one of the things you can do with SJSM Plus is you can add sort of local variables or constants, which are they're not part of
Okay.
the code. They're what SJSM Plus uses. Normally, what I do is you put those in capital letters so that you can understand that they're not a label.
Okay.
And that's like declaring variables, but they're not variables in your code. They are variables for the script, right?
Okay.
So
Right.
it just means that you can reference a particular address that you use often with
Mm-hmm. Yep. With bar
with
address. Yeah.
with a not a label but a title, perhaps you might call it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you say, and what that means is that, say, when I go load HL bar address here, yeah, then later
Mm-hmm.
on, if I want to print that somewhere else, I'll just change this number here, and then I don't need to change the code. You see?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so um, examples of that in more complex code might be, say, you might say the number of sprites that you're using, right? And that might affect a loop, and then you can increase or decrease the number of sprites because you may have several different loops dealing with the sprites. You see what I mean?
Okay.
So instead of um, having to change it in, say, 3 or 4 different loops, you just change one number, and all the loops would have
Yeah.
been updated. So it's quite good, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so load HL bar address. There we go. All right, that's the start of our thing. So now we need to look at our life value, load a life value, right? Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll store it in Okay, so this is what I generally do. Remember, when you load from an address in memory, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take, off the top of my head, I can't remember. I think it takes about 7 t-states, or is it 15? I can't remember. But what you do instead, to save yourself having to read that again, you can just store it temporarily, right? And then you can use it whenever you want. Because I know that I'm going to do 2 different mathematical routines on this, yeah.
Okay.
Then I know that I should keep it for later, and it's going to be easier to bring it back, right?
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is like figure out how many across do I need. Sorry, I've just had a little bit of sleep in my eye, and now I don't know. I might have had something on some cat food or something gone in my eye now. I was trying to feed her with my finger, you see.
It's one of those nights.
Yeah, you should see her. She's just sitting there like this. She looks like she's sitting there like a drunk bloke at a bar. You know, like a bloke who falls asleep at the bar. It's weird. She's not even lying down. She's just, yeah. She's not getting any worse though. So I'm
Yeah. Should be back by tomorrow probably.
yeah. Anyway, okay, so we're temporarily storing our life bar so that we don't need to read it from memory, right? What I'm saying is we're putting it in the just got a little bit of water there. We're putting it in the CPU register so that we can access it more quickly when we need it later, right? Okay, so then what we need to do is we need to divide it by 8. You'll remember, so we want to know this number. So I'm going to shift to the right, yeah?
Yeah.
And we'll do that 3 times. That's divide by 8, yeah?
Yeah.
And then we do an AND on it like this so that we get the last 3 numbers like that, yeah? because we just want those three numbers there. So if we're looking at this one, for example, this one was 48, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And we're shifting it across. So the end result then would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 0, 0, right?
Yeah.
So you can see that just a moment, you can see that has been shifted over to there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that number now, that number there, which is 4, let's say, that's the number of 255s that we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means it's pretty easy to just do that. We can do that straight away and draw that now, right? And all we need to do is just go load B, A, right? Because B is our loop counter.
Yeah.
We'll call this block loop, yeah? Like this, block loop, and then we will go load HL 255. Well, we could, I suppose, we could use. It would be slightly quicker if we used a value, right? Like, you could use load D 255 and then load it in like this. It's going to be quicker.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, although that's in order of speed, the slowest is reading a number from memory. The next one is using an actual number, and the quickest is using a register that already has a number in it, right?
Right.
But for now, we'll say load HL 255. That's fine. And we'll go inc L, because we know that we're only going horizontal, right? So we're not going down.
Yeah.
So we don't need to worry about inking HL
Yeah.
because it's not going to cross a barrier. So
Yeah.
again, that's quicker. And then we'll go DJNZ block loop, right? So we've got the number of times here, and we're going to go, so that's going to basically print this section of the life bar right there.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think that's right. Okay. And so once that's done, now we need to check here what our sort of mixed value is going to be, right? The one where we're
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay. So we're going to load A with C. Let's bring back the life bar. Yeah. Okay, and we're going to go and this time again 0 to 7, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and what I'm going to suggest we do is use the lookup table just for it to be easier, right? So we say bar values, yeah?
Okay.
Okay, and we actually want them to be something like this. So 0, yeah,
Yeah.
and 1. If it's 1, it'll be yeah, and then it will be 1 1. Yeah, I'm doing this in binary, guys. Just visually, it's easier for you to see, right? You wouldn't need to do it in binary, of course. And we've got six, and yeah, and that's our last one, right? Okay. Right, is that clear? Do you know what that's doing?
Yep. Yeah.
So this is a visual representation of the life bar of the ones of this
Of the
particular
one. Yeah.
the mixed
Yep.
square, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So, and that will be from 0 to
7.
7, right? That's it. Okay, so that's easy enough. And so what we'll do now is then we'll go load DE bar values, right? Which is this address here, right? Now we'll make sure that this doesn't cross a byte line, right? So we'll say align by 8, so that it's always, it's not going to cross an address value anywhere where what I mean is if you add 7 to it, it's never going to go over to a new page. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like if your address was like FE, then and you added 3, then it's going to go to the next page. We don't want to do that because we want to just do 8-bit addition. Yeah. So we'll go load DE bar values, and then we'll go add AE, right? Load EA, because A has a number from 0 to 7, right? And so we're going to add it here. So we start from 0, and then we go 1, 2, 3, right? And then we'll look up that value. Do you see what I mean? Just give yourself a minute to think about that.
Really?
Well, here, let me look at my comments. It'll help, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Start of bar value lookup, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then add the offset for the correct number of pixels, right? Add the offset to the table address. It's a little bit like, so imagine, you know, a lookup table is a little bit like an array. 0, 1, 2, right?
Yeah, that I get. It's
here. If I put it in basic, you're gonna get it, right? Like this. So let's say you have an array called bar values, right?
Yeah.
Dim bar values 7, right? And then you'd like for I equal 0 to 7, let bar values I, something like this, you know, read, and then you would read the data, yeah, and then it would put these values in. So you imagine you've got that, right? So then what you do is you would look at the number here from 0 to 7. You're clear with that much, right? It's how many pixels there are, right?
Yes.
So sorry, read it here. So for example, here it would be 4 pixels or whatever, right? So what you do is you just say let pixel count. It would be something like let pixel count equal bar values 4, right? Because your pixel count would be 4, right? Okay, but in assembly, what we do is we go, let's say we load D with bar values, yeah?
Yeah.
So that means that we're starting out at bar values address. It's like bar values 0 offset, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like an offset rather than an array. It's just an offset.
Okay.
So when you start off, effectively what you're doing is you're loading it with bar values plus 0, right?
Yeah.
And then you're adding the value that you've got here, so that then the address is bar values plus 4, right? And then and I can read it from here: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, there's 4 pixels. Ah, show 4 pixels.
Yep.
See what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the easiest, simple way of doing it, right? And again, in this case, to be honest, the calculation because you've only got like 8 bytes, it's actually quicker, and not only is it's a somewhat unusual in the sense that the code is shorter and it's quicker, right? So those two
Okay.
things don't often go together. But anyway, or more efficient, let's say, than doing the maths.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue. Right, that's our value, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've increased L there, and I think we should actually be at the in the correct place to show that value, right? On the screen here, because you see it's going to draw. It's gonna. If you imagine that there are 4 of them, right?
Yeah,
So it's going to go
you've done all the
1,
four, so
2,
now the next
3,
one is going to be
4.
yeah.
But here you've only added HL 3 times. So you are actually adding HL 4 times. So now you're on this one.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so that's good then. So you don't need to, so that's that part done. Yeah. So you've
Yeah.
now drawn it up to that point. And the only other thing then that you think about is you have to think about, well, now I need to fill the rest with 0, right?
Yeah.
So in order to do that, we need to figure out how many zeros there are left.
Left in that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, well, we know how many ones there are, right? Because we had that
Mm-hmm.
here. So if we temporarily store, let's see, can we do this? Because, I wonder if we can temporarily store a value here. We're using the life bar, we're using DE, we're using HL. Kind of used up all our variables in doing
Yeah.
this,
Well,
right?
we have. Yeah.
But let's see. Well, you know what we could do? Let's forget about C there, right?
Okay.
We can just bring it back here anyway, right? If we need it back. Where do we need it? Load AC here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, hang on a second. Let's see. Ah, yeah, no, we do need it there. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just. I mean, it's not a big difference. We'll just bring it back, right? See what I mean? And now I haven't used C. You see what I mean?
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead, I'm just going
Yeah.
to read it from, I'll read it from memory again.
Read it back from memory again.
It's a
Yeah.
fairly small difference. It's not a disaster, you know. The alternative is like switching to use a shadow register or using a stack, and all of those things are going to add as much to the time as doing that. So sometimes you just have to accept it. There you go. But that frees up C, so you know we can basically put C into A as well, right? Is that right? I think so. Yeah, that's how many. Right. Okay. So load HLA. Now we'll go load A, and we're going to have 8, right? Because the total number is 8, right? We may do some recalculation, but the total number is 8, and we subtract C from that, right? Which is the total number of full bars.
Okay.
And I'm going to say GRZ all done, right? The reason I'm doing that is because if you've got 8 bars, yeah, and the total number of full bars was 8,
yeah,
that means it was 64.
That means it's done.
And that means it's done, right? So
Yes.
obviously this won't display. We might be able to build it in so that if it's greater than 64, then we would chop it off, right? That's another thing you could
Yeah.
you could just cut off, compare it to 64, and if it's bigger, just set it as 64, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also possible. But so what that does is, if the life bar is completely full, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll just say it's done because it will have just drawn it, right?
Yeah.
Let me just check if that's true. Although, well, I suppose we could. Let's see. Yeah, presumably your life value would then be 0 anyway, right?
Yeah, it would.
So, yeah, that could be a problem because it will still draw your life bar. It would still draw a 0 at the end of eight blocks if you did that. See?
Right.
Which is, yeah, slightly problematic. So how do we avoid that? Let's see. Well, if we okay, I'll tell you how we'll avoid it. We're going to go to here and we'll say we'll put draw zeros here, right? Now, bear in mind we also need to incal once, right? Because we're going to go up 1, right? Correct? To draw the zeros.
Right.
So imagine we're drawing all the ones, then we're drawing the mix, and then we're drawing the zeros, right? So we draw the ones, and then we increase L, and then I've just drawn the zeros, and then I'm going to draw one more to start drawing zeros. I'm going to have to increase it one more time, right?
Okay.
So what I can do now, I can put in here JRZ draw zeros, right? And that means that we can skip one space, although no, because then it won't be drawn. Yes, that's interesting. Huh. Okay. How do we avoid that? Let's think. So that's now it's not drawing that now. Okay. Let's think. I'll tell you what we'll do. There's another way around it, yeah?
Okay.
There's always a way around these things, right? So we've just drawn the blocks, yeah?
Yeah.
So what I can do is I can say load AC, compare 8, JR, all done, right? Eight full bars. Yeah? So here, this is the number of bars, and we've stored it in B and in C for later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And then the loop has gone down, B has gone down to 0, right?
Yeah.
But C still has the original value.
Yeah.
So I can say, I can ask the question here, did you just draw 8 bars? Yeah?
Yeah.
And it says, and if the answer is yes, sorry, that should be right. If the answer is yes, then you're done, right?
Right. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. And what I can do as well, by the way, is I can put here bar length, right? And then in here we can put bar length equals 8. And that way we can play about with it later. You can also put that in memory as well, right? You know, you don't, if you wanted to make it more flexible.
Okay.
So, anyway, we'll do that for now, right? Okay, that solves that problem. So let's see. We're drawing. Let me check how we're doing on the old stream. Ro still here. I think he's the only one. Good for you, Ro. Anyway. Right. So was that clear? I was thinking. I just started thinking ahead there. We got a slight problem. We don't want to draw an extra space. So if the life bar is completely full, yeah, here is life bar full. Yes.
Yeah.
So we are done. Right. So if the life bar is not full, then we do have to make this calculation. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we come to here. We draw this one, right?
Yeah.
And then we say load AC, compare life bar, compare bar length minus 1.
Oh, why?
Yeah. Well, in this case, we're not going to need to draw any zeros, are we? Because if it's one less, then the last one is going to be our mixed.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's one way of doing it. You don't have to do it that way, but it's an option. Otherwise, we can do the subtract as well.
Right.
Right? But that would work like, so what you would do then is this. You would say load A bar length, right?
Yeah.
Total size. And then we would sub C, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to give us the number of zeros apart from 1, right? So we have to do dec A like that.
Right. Okay.
All right. Slightly confusing, right?
Mm.
But let me show you how it works. I'll do it in BASIC again so you can see why we do that, right? Okay, so we have, we'll call it, the bar length is total bar length, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say in BASIC, let's say bar length equals 8, right?
Yeah.
And here, let's say the life bar, we'll call it char count, right? It's the number of
Okay.
the number of 255s, yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
Which we've done here. That's, you see when we calculated it here.
Yeah.
It's actually stored in C, isn't it? In fact,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So you remember that. So if we take bar length, right, minus char count, yeah?
Yeah.
That's going to tell us. So if you imagine you've got something like this, right? Let's say you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars, and you've got another 3 with zeros in them, right?
Yeah.
So 8 minus 5 is 3. So it tells you that there are 3 zeros.
Okay.
But one of them is our mixed one. Yeah?
Mm.
Okay, let me show you here. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6,
3, 4.
7.
Yeah. And then we've got the mixed one, and then you've got the zeros afterwards.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, we've got four full characters, yeah?
Yeah.
So 8 minus 4 is 4. So that tells us there are four that are not full, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Either mixed or zeros,
Next door zeros. Yeah. Yeah.
right? But one of them is always going to be mixed.
Yes.
So we'll if we decrease it by 1, it's going to tell us how many zeros that we need to draw,
Okay.
right? And the good thing about that is that if the last one, if it's on the last one here, if the mixed one is right to the end, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
then we're going to get the value 0 to tell us that we don't need to draw any zeros at all.
Right.
And so we can say JR, and again here we can say JRZ all done, right?
Yeah.
And then all we need to do is load B with A, load HL with 0, inc L, and DJNZ 0 loop, right? And I'm going to put 0 loop here. That makes sense?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, we'll go through the whole code, but before we do that, I'm going to clean this up. All right, we'll clean that up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at the start here, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As I'm going to go, I'll show you a new shortcut that you can use. Right. So we say 22528. Right. Address 22528, which is the attributes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to say load HL, and we're going to put in a value of, let's say, no flash, bright. What color paper should we have? Blue paper. That's 1,
Yeah.
and we'll have red ink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm now going to load DE with 22529, right, which is the next value. And we're going to use a command called LDIR, right?
Okay.
Now, LDIR is a different kind of loop. I'll show you what actually LDIR actually does, right? It loads the value of HL, yeah?
Okay.
It copies it into DE. It increases HL, it increases DE, and then it decreases BC, and then it repeats that until BC is 0, right?
Okay.
It's a way of quickly copying data,
Right.
right? So, for example, if you've got it's not that much quicker than regular, but if you
Okay.
let's say you've got something like this. I'll show you quickly, right? Let's say sprite data, right? And it's like 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, right?
Yeah.
5. And so what you can do potentially is you can go load HL sprite data, right?
Yeah.
Load, and then you can say load DE screen address 4000, right?
Yeah.
Load BC 5, and then LDIR, right? And that will copy those 5 bytes that are here into there,
Okay.
right? And it will do a loop of 5.
Right.
All right, and that loop can be all the way up to 65535, right? It's actually 16-bit loop. It's quite handy. But it's the disadvantage is it's completely linear, so you're not really going to be able to draw sprites with that, right? Because sprites are usually
Yes.
2 bytes and then down, and then 2 bytes and then down. But
Right.
anyway, so all that does, if you look at it here, is I'll write it in BASIC for you so that you could see, right? So you'd be something like this, right? So you would say poke 22528, comma, what number is that in binary, right? Anyway, it's 64 plus 16. Sorry, 8. 64 plus 8 is 72. 74, I think it is, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you would say poke 2258, right? And then you would say no, okay, well, it would be something like this, right? Let HL equal 22528, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you would say poke HL, comma 74, was it 72? I can't remember, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Poke HL 72, right? Let
Mm-hmm.
DE equal 22529, right?
Yeah.
And then it would be something like let A equal peak HL, poke DE, comma poke DE A, and then let HL equal HL plus 1, let DE equal DE plus 1, right?
Right.
And yeah, but if you, so, well, if you imagine what it's doing, right, is it's you put a value into HL, right?
Yeah. And then you're just copying it
And
out
then
and
you're
put it into
copying
the
it,
next
you're
address along.
copying it to the very next address, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens is you're increasing HL and DE so that then it's reading that address and it's recopying itself because HL becomes what DE was, right? So it ends up in like a loop. It's a way this is what you do. If you want to clear the screen, yeah? Show you how you can clear the screen is you go like this. Load HL 16384, right?
Yeah.
And then load HL0, load DE 16385, yeah? Load BC 614 no, sorry, 6, if you want to clear attributes as well, 6911, right? The total is 6912.
Yeah.
But you do 6911 because you've actually done the first one.
You've already
here.
used one. Yeah.
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 And then you do LDIR, right? And that's how you can clear the screen.
Okay.
And if you change this value, you'd fill the screen with a different pattern, right?
Okay.
Although obviously you wouldn't want to do that with the attributes, right? So all I'm doing there is I'm just putting the I'm putting some color so we can see our life bar and make sure that it works, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the bar address to 44 so that it's in the middle of the character. You remember, if you increase HL, you go down inside the character square? Right,
yeah.
So that's that. Right, and that's just setup. That's not the actual bar. That's not code. That's like the color part, right?
Yes.
If you were doing that in AGD or something, you'd have that permanently in there, right, all the time. Okay, so that should be enough to display it, right? So well, I'm hoping anyway. Have I given it an output? Yeah, lifebar.bin, right? Okay. Okay, I think we just lost Andy for a second. He'll be back. Time sure flies, doesn't it? I'd like to say I could pay for Zoom, but I'm a struggling teacher. It's just not worth it for me really most of the time, especially when there's also Discord, but anyway. Right, so we'll assemble that now, guys. You back?
I'm back.
Yes. Label not found, bar address. Oh. Ah, yes, okay, well, I don't know. Do I have to do it like this then or something? I thought I could declare those like that.
Yeah.
No, it's fine, it's fine. Happy, it's accepted it
Do
now.
you want to share it up again?
Good, thank you. Should go back to Discord. It seems to be fairly behaving itself though now, right?
Has been.
Maybe we could go back to Discord, but anyway. All good.
So what have you had to change to get to if it doesn't know what Baragent's address is?
Sorry, say again? Oh, it's just
You
because
said
I put it, I didn't put it right to the edge, you know?
oh, gotcha.
So it thought it was something
I did
else.
wonder actually about that, but I thought it was different
Yeah,
because
I think
yeah.
within the older versions of SGSM Plus you can get away with that, but now you can't.
Okay.
So,
So
right.
that's
So let's
six.
open the Spectaculator. Let me just make sure that as well when I do open it that we've got.
Oh, label not. Oh, I've got a label not found now. Label not found. All done.
Ah, you might have missed that at the end.
Well, I changed it to zero loop.
Just a second. I think I can just slide that. Can I just slide that across? Just a minute. Can I?
6 errors. Target out of range.
6 errors. Good lord.
Yeah.
What line have you got an error on? I got 0 errors.
Line 32. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. J all Z all done. So is that?
Oh well, yeah, because if you haven't got all done here, then it won't.
Oh, okay. I
Then
didn't have that.
immediately your
Yeah.
target will be out of range,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, it's not
Oh, why did?
putting the specky on the old screen now. Where is that? It's not bringing it to the front. Okay. All right. There it is. Just make sure that's working. Is that on the old stream working? Who's still here, by the way? We've got 2 guys watching. Say hello. Say hello. I'm not convinced that that's working, you know.
And then gonna. What the hell? Where have I got?
Yeah, for some reason the Spectaculator is... Have I got 2 instances? I have as well.
Ugh.
Oh!
Unexpected stuff. Oh god. I'm
Just a second,
bloody.
guys. We've got a little one here wanting to come and see me now. Hang on a minute.
Oh, nice.
Well, I don't know. She didn't like being picked up. But she's obviously feeling a bit better. Alright then. Just 1 second, guys. I'll try and pick her up, but she might squeal if I pick her up. She did before. Do you want me to pick you up? No. Okay. I'll leave you alone then. That's alright.
Okay.
Well, you made a good effort there, didn't you? She doesn't like me to pick her up. I'm just going to put her on a bed again.
Yeah.
That's right. I know. There you go. Hold on. Easy. She's trying.
Yeah.
Could you hear her?
Oh yeah, a little chirp out of her.
Oh yeah, she's really not. She's not herself. She doesn't want picking up, but
Oh,
she just wanted to be a bit nearer, you know.
yeah.
Just be near to me, daddy. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah. For some reason, this spectaculator is I don't know what's wrong with it. It's not coming to the front of the screen.
oh,
You know what I mean? Like the window priorities
yeah.
or stuff like that. It's a weird one, really, but I don't know why. If it's just, it might be frozen, you know. Ah, okay. I think it's because it had a thing coming up saying, "Do you want to exit?" Okay. Well, anyway, let me just.
Right.
Yeah, I've got it
Where
there.
where are we loading this into in memory?
We're loading it in at 49152 as per
2. Okay, as per usual. Okay.
watching the old. Yeah, that's working on the stream. Okay. Hopefully. Oh, this is really lifebar.bin. 152 randomize. Okay, that's promising, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. We've got a red line and a blue block.
The question is, do we have? Is it actually granular? You know, like accurate?
Let's have a look.
And I can save that off.
So let's put the line in at 1 pixel. Oh, doesn't like that.
What did you do?
1.
Let's see. All right. Well, I am. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why. Because if it's 0, the first part is 0, it'll bomb.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll fix that. It probably did
Okay.
some mega long line, did it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I know what that is. We'll fix it now. But first of
Okay.
all, I'm gonna do a quick. I'm gonna look at it in ZX Paintbrush and see what it looks like. And
Oh,
that's good that happened because we'll be able to learn from that
yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, it hasn't worked properly on
64.
here. It's not.
No, 64 doesn't like either.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is how we learn. Well, first of all, it's not working. In terms of, see, that should be 34. So that should have, I should have 2 more pixels there, and I don't. Right?
Okay, right. Yeah.
But this is fine, you know. I mean, as I said, I'm doing this off the cuff, and it's just a case of
Yeah.
fixing a few little bits to see, right? So the first thing that we want to do here, right? You see this count here.
Yeah.
If that is going to be 0, what am I sharing this one? This
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Let me just make sure it's on the Discord as well. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, okay. So if this one's going to be 0, just saying, yeah, Scott's saying that Spectacular hasn't been updated. I don't think it's ever going to be updated again. It's been years.
No.
Anyway, if Okay, so if you do this and it ends up being 0, then you're going to end up with a loop of 255, you see, right? Because you'll be telling your loop load be 0. So if
Right.
if it is 0, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
then what we actually want to do is jump if 0, and we want to go to we actually want to go to, I think, is it here? Yeah, I think so we'll call it draw midsection, right?
Okay.
So we've got a few little kinks to iron out, I suppose, but we'll go draw midsection. So less than 8, right? This life bar, by the way, goes from 0 to 63, remember? So you did 64,
Oh,
you're
yes.
going to cause it.
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So so for some reason it's not displaying the middle section, right?
Mm.
Let's have a look at that. So I think it's drawing yeah, well let's set it at, say, less than 8. So we'll set it at 3. Just make sure it doesn't crash now, right? Okay, and we'll that run. Okay, so we're getting nothing, right?
Right.
Which is okay, I mean that's fine, but what we need to figure out is what's happened here. So with this midsection, right, we've got, it's obviously not reading the bar values from the let's see. So load DE bar values, add AE, yeah, so A should be, in this case it should be 3, right? Ah, yes, yeah, that's right, it should be 3, and, yeah. So it would be 3, and then, so A is add AE, bar values plus 3, load EA, yes. So that should give us the value 0, 1, 2, 3, which is that one. Load HLA. Ah, that should work. That's weird. But look at this. You see our draw zeros, yeah?
Draw zeros.
Yeah, once we've finished,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so once we've done that, once we've drawn that one in there, we're going to have to go across one, aren't we? I remember there was an increase L that I deleted earlier, and that'll be it right there.
Oh, yeah. I've still got that actually.
Oh, good.
Oh, hold on. Can you, so draw zeros, so you've got that. Can you go down a bit to the 0 loop?
Okay, just a second. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just a couple of little things. I'm happy that that happened. I'm gonna, as usual, I'm gonna pretend I did it deliberately just to, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So I never get this right. What is it? L. Yeah. Okay. Good. There you go. We've got 3 pixels. Yeah.
Huh. I don't have anything.
Okay.
Don't I have anything? Oh, I can see why.
Yeah.
Line 19 is. You've got line 19. When did you put that in there?
What, this one?
The and.
Oh, that's this. Yeah, I just added that so that the life value is never
Oh.
more than 63. That's all. Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I got no line at all, so I'm not sure why. No, I'm not getting anything. I think well, my value is set to 63. I think. Yeah, my value is set to 63, but I'm getting nothing in there. So let's put it back. 34.
Okay.
I'm not getting any errors.
Well, yeah, but it's not just because you don't get an error doesn't mean it's working, does
Oh
it?
no. Right, if I put it back to 34, it works. And it looks about
And it looks
about
about
half, but
well,
looks about right.
It would be about half, yeah. But at 63, it didn't work.
63, it didn't work.
All right, let's figure
I've
that
got
out.
nothing in there.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look and see. I'll do it as well. I'll try 63. This is what you do when you're testing stuff like this. You just play about with it and see what happens. Life bar. Okay. I just never get it on the L, you know. I'm just.
Yeah.
Oh, it works.
Yeah. So
works here for me. Yeah, that's fine.
Does it?
Yeah, I think so. Although it's 63. Does look like it's 64 should actually work, shouldn't it? Thinking about it, then I'm not sure. That 1 pixel less.
No. Let's try 62. Nothing.
Okay, well we'll have to have a look at your code and see what's gone wrong.
Yeah.
Just a minute. According to this, yeah, that is 63, and that is correct. I'm not sure that 64 will work though, but okay, well let's figure out why yours isn't working, because mine works for 63.
Okay.
Which part of the code do you need to look at?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, are you literally just you just getting nothing?
Yeah. I mean, 30. I tried lower numbers. They all work. I was just seeing where I was getting to, which like what.
I've just been signed out of
was
Zoom. That's weird. You might get cut off. Are you still there? No, that's weird.
Yeah.
I am signed in on the other laptop, but it's not even on, so I don't know. Never mind. You're still there. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look. Okay. It's obviously not that first bit, so you might just go step by step, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Right, hold on. Stop, because I'm behind you. Way behind you. So 17. Yeah. 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 Hold on. Stop. Go back up a little bit. Yes. CP bar length. Channel 0. Done. Yep. Um. Oh, keeps lagging for some reason on this. Um. So draw midsection. Yes. 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 Load AE. Load EA. Load ADE. Load HL. Ah. Oh no. Load HL. Oh, there it is. Doing the incal after that. However, oh, you've got that space at 37. That's why yours is off. Okay, let's try
Fix
that.
it. Oh, there you go. All right.
Oh, two, 11, 40. That works now. Let's try 63.
Okay, so when you get 64, yeah, you end up with just a whole load of zeros.
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh, no, 63 doesn't work.
well, 63 works for me. Oh, hang on a minute. If the life
What?
bar is full, you don't want to just
Yeah.
not draw anything, do you? I suppose. I know, hang on.
No, I'm not drawing anything over 48 still, I think. Try.
Oh, well, I'm stopping it going over 63 here, so no wonder it didn't work. Yeah, clearly, obviously that wouldn't work. It ends up being 0, doesn't it? So, alright, give me just a second.
Right, 54 works.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when you're testing it, you
It's
want
the
to test
last.
it.
It's the last section that's not working for me.
You want to test it on 0. You want to test it on, the top number, things like that, right?
Yeah, well, it doesn't work on 63. It didn't work on 62 or
I'm
61.
still getting it not working on 64, so that's also not good. 64 should. Okay, load direction bar address.
Okay, 8.
64 divided by 8. Ah, okay. That ought to do it. Yeah, because it would be less than 8. Yeah, so that's why that does that, I think.
Yeah. So what yours doesn't work over 58 either.
Well, just a second.
Or well, 56, wouldn't it actually?
No, now mine's working okay now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go through it. Look, you must have
There
slipped up
must be
somewhere.
something wrong. Yeah.
Right, so 100%. Okay, first of all, I took out that and because it was causing a problem. I was going ahead of myself. Bar address, right? So, okay, what we'll do,
Yeah.
we're going to talk
Okay,
through.
you took out the
We're going to
and.
talk through the whole routine, right? I'm going to comment it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, screen address of the life bar. Get the value of the life bar and divide it by 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slice off the higher bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, because if you divide it by 8 and it's 64, then the value would be 8, but that would actually be 0 because you got a value from
Right.
0 to 7.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I'll just add one there and that should work. That's what I did.
Okay.
Okay, and then if that comes to 0,
Yeah.
then it means that all of these bits, none of these bits, so it means that it would actually be less than 8. Oh yeah, but that's
Okay.
could potentially be a problem. Because it would also be, if it was 64, it would count as less than 8 as well, wouldn't it? Okay, so, right, well, compare 8, yeah, and JR,
Yeah.
if carried, just draw the midsection and don't draw.
Okay.
Is that right? Not sure. Oh, actually, no. I think that is okay because yeah, it's the division that would cause all the bits to go to 0 anyway. Yeah, so it would still be okay because even if 64 was divided by 8, you know, you'd end up with one bit here, I think, if I'm right.
Right.
Is that right? I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll play about with it. We'll see. Well, let's find your mistake first of all, and then we'll continue from there. Draw midsection. Right. You need to draw some full blocks.
Size.
Trailing zeros, right? Okay.
We need blocks and stuff. So then we're doing.
Right? You following?
Yeah. Yeah. Just writing as and checking as I go. Right. Plumbing section. Start the bar running lookup.
Next screen address.
Hold on. Right.
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
Wait a second. Oh, yeah.
Oh. What do you see there?
I was just checking if I was jumping to draw zeros, but I'm not, so it's fine.
Okay. That really button. Hold on a sec. Okay.
Right?
Um, one sec. Stay where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. How have I got that there?
Hmm?
Right.
Something you found
Well,
the
I've
mistake?
just seen. Yeah. Well, I've seen two errors now.
Yeah, well,
So
they happen, you know.
yeah. Place. So,
You're working now.
right. I don't know. We'll see any second. No, one warning. Oh, I know why. One. Right. So, well, 63 is. I'm drawing a line,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not a full line. It looks like I've got 2 pixels left.
Oh, yeah? Wait, have you not, you run through it and...
I tried to go through it with you as you were doing that. But,
Hmm.
um, I mean, I don't know. It's drawn.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I don't know. Where it's.
Well, okay, we'll just quickly, we'll just do it one more time, right?
I just want to see what.
Okay, let me, right,
Hold on one
you
sec.
see here, right? You see here where, I start here from load HL bar address, yeah?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to restart you in a minute, but
yeah.
load HL bar address, right? What line number do you have? What line number is load HL bar address at?
Well, mine's 17, but our spacing's
Yeah,
different.
I know. Well, that's what I mean. We're gonna change that now, right? So
Yeah,
this part, right? Just forget all this part at the top, yeah.
right.
All you need to do is from here, load HL bar address. Just press return a few times until you bring it down to line 31. Okay?
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
All right. Now, when you've put the labels in, you've put them on individual lines as well, yeah?
Yeah.
The same as I have, right? So
So
what?
my last line is all done is at 67. Oh, you've got six.
67.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I've got space up here. Hold on. Right.
Oh, okay.
So all the ret is at 67.
Yeah. Okay. So it
Draw zeros is at
looks
56. Yeah.
right. Okay. So block loop is at 40. Draw midsection is at 47.
Yep.
Draw zeros is at 56.
Yeah.
Zero loops at 62.
So yeah.
Right. So that all adds up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're definitely loading this new code in. You haven't like. Okay, just read it one by one. Sorry. I think
Yeah.
Rose still here, but we'll just do this quickly.
Uh,
This is what happens sometimes when you're working together. But
so load HL comma bar address. Load A life value.
RSCA three times.
RSA 3 times. Then I did the and with 0000 and 1111.
Uh-huh.
Jump relative Z. Draw midsection. LDBA. LDCA. Block loop.
Mm-hmm.
LDHL 255 Inc L. DJNZ. Block loop.
Yeah.
LDAC. CP bar length. Jump relative 0 all done. Draw midsection LDA.
Life value, yeah.
And 5 zeros 111.
Mm-hmm.
LD bar values. Add AE.
ODA.
LDEA. LDADE. LDHLA.
It's just
Inc
load.
L.
You can say load, by the way, for LD.
Load.
It might be
Okay.
easier for you. Just one
So
less.
load A bar length. Sub C. Deck A. Jump relative Z all done. Load BA. 0 loop. Load HL 0. Inc L.
Decrease and jump. Just
Jump.
DJ and Z, yeah.
Yeah. 0 loop. All done ret.
Yeah. And
But if I do
have you done
if I put 63 in there, and I've done a line, yeah. Now I was just checking the data there just to make sure that I put the right values in, but well, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You're working now.
No, because I haven't changed anything. That, as far as I could tell, is exactly the same. So I've put 63 in, and load. That life bar bin. Put it in there. 49152. Okay. Run. Oh. What happened there?
This is why it's good to work with you, Andy. You have an incredible propensity for creating errors.
I've literally got the red line overlapping my. I put like 10 randomized 49152. I loaded in the code and must have had execute on it, but it's actually just crashed it. So one sec, let me. Don't know what it did there. Right, made that. Therefore, 49152. Yes. It's
We're just waiting for Andy to come back, guys. I've sent him the code anyway, so he can use my code and we'll roll with that. Okay. You there? Hello, hello. You there? Andy, can you hear me? Your microphone's going up and down, but I can't hear you. No, it's doing something. Have I don't know. How come I can't hear you now? It says, "Oh, join audio." Hello?
Hello? Hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. That was a weird one. I don't know what happened then, but
Yeah.
didn't let me join. Anyway, did you get it? Just open it and.
I've got yours. Yeah. Once I'm just going to work out why it's executing the yeah, because I've got execute after import on now. Right. Okay. So
Yeah, actually,
randomize.
I made a mistake here. I've put life loop, and it needs to be like that. Okay.
Hold on. Say what? Oh, you need to share it. I can't see.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, the first two lines need to be outside of the life loop.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you've added more stuff in, haven't you?
Yeah, what I've done is I've just loaded the life bar with full life bar, and then I've just made it delete down until 0.
Okay. I'm still trying to get this bloody working.
But it doesn't display 0, so instead I'm gonna say compare 255. And that would do it.
Is that actually working now?
Well, it's working. It's working for me.
It looks like it's only I've got a pixel at the end that's not being rendered.
What, 1 pixel?
Mm.
You mean? Yeah. I just explained that actually. I said here, look, instead of deck A, because when it's exiting when it's hitting 0 before it's displaying the 0, right? Which I knew it was doing that, by the way. That wasn't an error. I just thought it probably doesn't matter that much. But then I thought, then I thought again.
Yeah, no, but I don't have that code. So I'm saying in mine, I'm not running your code. I'm still running mine.
I see.
I don't have that section of code that you've written, but it looks like if I put the life value as 63, obviously not 63 and 64. That blue block should have a red line going all the way through it, but it looks like I've got 1 pixel at the end that isn't.
Well, yeah,
but
because
our code is the same.
No. 63 is 1 less because it's actually 64 that would be full.
Right.
Yeah. It is actually 64 that would be full, and the reason is that because you've got 0, it's completely empty, right?
Oh, right.
And then you've got 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, so 64 would be full.
Yeah.
That was an error.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
I said earlier on 0 to 63 would be full, but I was wrong, in fact.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Works.
So it's working, yeah?
Right. LA freaking Luya.
Right. Now let me show you another trick that we can do, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so watch this. We will
I'm just going to watch. I'm not going to copy
okay,
this.
so watch what we do, right? So I'm going to start, instead of starting at, I'm going to start at 42, right? 2 pixels down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
And then after I've drawn the line, after I've drawn the, there, I've drawn it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go load HL,
Mm-hmm.
what have I got here? Load HL, bar address, right?
Yeah.
Load HL bar address, load DH, load EL, right? So DH equals L, 8 HL, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'm going to increase D,
Yeah.
load BC8, LDIR, right? Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
do you know what that does?
Yeah. You can fill it out.
Yeah, I'm going to copy the top, this
Mm-hmm.
first one, and repeat it again
Yeah.
so that it draws the next bar down.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and
So would you, if you did this, obviously you're copying that data, but let's say with Nixie 2, obviously that bar is made up of hearts, right?
yeah,
So you could do you could like write a table of what values to put in so that as it goes through this loop like 8 times, it puts each of those
just a second.
data bits.
Let me quickly
Okay.
just do this
Yeah.
one, right? So. Okay. Yeah, what you're asking me is a completely different thing because we're
This is a different way of doing it, is it? Okay.
no, it's the same thing, but
Huh?
instead of printing the values, we'd be reading from a. It's more
Huh.
complicated because what you're talking
Yeah.
about is having
Oh, yeah.
is a picture, right? I
Yeah.
mean that's
Yeah.
something it's a whole different
Okay.
sort of thing, really. It's not. No, that didn't work. That's weird. Wonder why that didn't work. So load HL bar address, which is fine, the start of the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, sorry, I didn't, I've pushed it in the wrong place. So load EL, oh, what have I just done? Yeah, ink D goes there. I think that's right. So I should be copying from HL to DE there.
Okay.
But for some reason it's not very happy about it. I don't know why. Darling? Dina? Just heard a noise. Now, why isn't that working? I don't know.
No.
No, I don't know. I'll just have a quick look in the debugger when I run it and see, because it's an easier way. Unfortunately, that doesn't appear on stream, but loop fill. Oh no, hang on a second. Oh, maybe I haven't. You know, one reason why it might not be working is there might be an error. Yeah, there is an error. Okay, label not found. Label not found. Bar address. Right. Yeah. Sorry. It shouldn't be. It should be bar address in capital letters. Case sensitive. That's the reason. I wasn't even looking at the error. There you go. So then now, if I get no errors. Yeah, so I was loading in the old code. It wasn't even creating it. That's why I kept getting the same.
Okay.
You know, if you get an error, then it's like that. So anyway. Yeah, that's fine, isn't it? Let's see that on the stream.
Yeah.
Sure though. Should start at 4200. How many am I drawing? I suppose I only need to draw. I don't need to draw 4. I only need to draw 3, don't I? Because I've already drawn 1. That's why. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. All good?
Yeah.
Let's see. We can also have a bit of fun with this. Let's say we'll do one more thing, right? Let me just take. I'm going to take out the. Take out the halt. One of the halt. How many halts have we got? Okay. Right. Just see it. That's going to be quite fairly fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Yeah, it's not that fast though, is it? That's the. I mean,
seems the same speed, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, if I take that halt out completely, then you won't see every change. You know, the pixels. You'll get it'll be quick. It'll be super quick. It'll be like stupid. Yeah, it's so quick that you can't even see it, right? Because by the time it's done it's already the screen hasn't been updated, right?
Yeah. Just about, yeah. Just flickers on, doesn't it?
Yeah, so you know you could put a different type of delay rather than a halt in there. You could one of the things that that you can do is you do something like this, right? So that's just copying the ROM into itself,
Right.
and it obviously it takes time to do that. So it creates a
Yeah.
delay. It creates a delay.
Okay.
It's a way of doing a delay, one way anyway. But yeah, you see. I guess that'll catch up. But yeah, that's pretty good. Just a second. I'm gonna see the cat again. Just a second. She's.
Yeah.
Have you got it working, Andy?
No, I've not. I didn't copy any of that. I just watched what you did.
Say again.
I wasn't like coding that as you went. I just watched what you did, and
Oh, I see. Okay.
yeah, I'll grab the file off you after and have a look through it.
Yeah, yeah. All right. She's not doing too well. She's still.
Is she?
She's trying. The thing is, it's like she's got her instincts. She wants to come in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pick her up because she can't stand being picked up at the moment.
No. Just wants to be left alone, doesn't she?
So anyway. Well, look, perhaps we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
What I was going to do was I was going to try and do a sort of like effect where you set the value randomly and then it goes up and down,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like a kind of like a volume thing on a.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what I did with Nixie too. Just had it so that it knows where it was and where it needs to be, and it just smoothly went between the two values.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, listen, I think I'm going to end the stream here. We've got some code there. We'll share it. You've got the code there, right, Andy? Or
I've got my working bit that just shows the bar. I haven't got your thing that shows the
all right. Well, I'll update you on that later.
data.
No big
Yeah,
rush.
cool.
Because she's
Yeah.
trying to come in and she's ill, and I need to just go and look
Yeah,
after
no
her.
worries. Yeah, go and have a
All
cuddle
right.
with her.
Well, no, she doesn't even like to be touched too much. She's very tender. She just needs to be. She just needs to be. Yeah, I know. I'm coming now. I'm coming. All right. Okay, guys. See you next time.
Okay.
As always, happy coding. I'll be away next week, probably, almost certainly, but perhaps back in a fortnight if I've bought a new laptop. Yeah. Take care and thanks a lot. Bye bye.
See you.